Today we're going to talk actually about 4 cards, but 3 of them are kind of like roughly the same card, so it doesn't really count, I would say. But we're going to be talking really about 4 cards. The 3 of them relate to each other, and I generally want to know if people use them because I do think there is actually a source in which or a reason to use them, but I want to see what you all think. And then we're going to be talking about one that's an ally. From now, we're moving on to the Black Widow deck, so it'll be from the Black Widow deck. So really quick, before, if you don't mind, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, please. It helps out the channel a lot. We're closing on 6K soon ish. We're working on it. We'll get there soon enough. So let's go pop down and take a look at these cards. All right, the first one I want to talk about is a set of 3, and it's the enhanced cards, if you know what I mean. So like enhanced awareness comes in with 3 mental counters, 2-cost upgrade. Exhaust enhanced awareness and remove 1 mental counter from it. Generate a mental resource, right? There's the same with the physique, which is the same exact thing, but it does physical ones. And then energy, right? So same exact thing, but it does energy counters. And these are the 3 cards. Now, a lot of people don't use these cards for various reasons, mainly because 2 for 3 isn't that great. Like, it's not bad, but it's not great. And I do think there's a use for these cards, and for cards like Lightning Strike, right? It doesn't have to be Lightning Strike you use it for, but a card like Lightning Strike, where you want to spend a certain amount of energy resources to deal damage, right? Well, it's nice if you just have, or if I can pick the right one, enhanced reflexes out there, which, by the way, you can have 3 of these out there, right? Because it's not a unique. It doesn't say max 1 per person. So you could generate 3 resources if you had all 3 out there. So just FYI. But for a situation like this where you're trying to get a very specific resource, I can see the argument for it. Again, if you're running 3 sets of, or 3 of them as a set, it might work really well in that regard as well. I also kind of liked it for Valkyrie or anything else that needs to like continuously get items onto villains or minions. Like, one of the big complaints with Valkyrie is, oh, you need to get like Queen Carrier out there, which is a little more expensive. But if you had the Queen Carrier and some enhanced cards, right, it's a little bit cheaper and allows you to ready up, not ready up, but use Death Glow repeatedly, right? Because you can just keep exhausting one of these, put it out there, exhaust another one, put it out, right? You can just do it kind of repeatedly. So anyway, the first question is, do people still use these? I remember seeing a lot of people early on saying these are terrible cards, they're really, really bad, and I'm not on board with that. Like, they're not great, but they're not bad, right? I really don't think they're that bad. Again, I use them in highly specific situations like this, or any hero that has something like this. If I need to, I'll throw in Captain America needs some fist resources, so I'll throw something, whatever it may be, right? I do think there are situations where it makes sense, where it's not always the easiest to get in a general resource thing, or you want to complement it, right? Again, if you have Queen Carrier, but you want to complement Queen Carrier, to have 2 resource generators out there. And it does think that it goes away, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Getting 3 resources over 3 rounds can be really helpful and really useful. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments about these 3 cards specifically. Next one I want to talk about is we've moved on now to the Black Widow deck. We still have some cards from the old ones, and there's some people are asking about them. I might go back and talk a bit about them, but I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see at some point. So Quake is a Justice card, Justice Ally, sorry, 2/1/2/2 stat line. Response after a minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to that minion. And it's a pretty interesting way of doing things, right? Because if you keep her out there and you're allowing scheming to happen a fair amount, she doesn't take consequential damage and can do 2 damage to that minion. Now, I wish it was an interrupt, so that obviously you could do the damage before they scheme. That would be like really strong, but for 2 costs, like, I get it. So I actually like Quake. She does make sense. You might have to plan around her a little bit, but it's not super hard to do that, right? Again, you keep her out there. It's a good time to flip down. Generally in Justice, you can not pick your time to flip down, but you can generally figure out a decent time to flip down. So you can flip down, let a minion scheme, right? They're going to scheme, do their thing, but especially with the early on minions, you can kind of knock them out, which is really good. So anyway, I like it, right? I like the card. I think it works really well, or can work really well. Is it used as much as it used to be? Not really, because again, minions have more life, which it's still not a bad thing to chip away at that life by any means. But it can be strong. The other thing too is multiplayer. Again, I don't play a ton of multiplayer, but it's after a minion schemes. It's not your minion or the minion that you're whatever, right? It's just a minion. So you could do this on someone else's turn, which is also really useful. So if you're not flipping down, but one of your teammates is, and then you can do 2 damage there. That's also really useful and worth pointing out. But I don't think she's just good in multiplayer. I think she works really well in multiplayer, and she works really well in shield decks, which maybe we'll go over that one day. I don't know. But she works well in a shield deck as well. But generally speaking, like, even though it's a great multiplayer card, it can be a really good solo card, I think, as well. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this quick couple minute update for these 2 cards, or I guess really 4 cards today. I guess I cheated the system just a little bit. Man, my green screen really wants to get my hood there. That's rough. Well, that's going to be distracting for the video, but oh well. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think about these cards. I'm always interested in hearing it. Hopefully you've been enjoying the series. Do me a huge favor if you have not yet. Make sure you go over to twitch.tv/G20 Woodworking. Hit the follow button, turn on notifications so you know when I go live. It's been a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of different games. Marvel Champions usually every week, but we're doing some other games too, including some head-to-head stuff or some multiplayer stuff, I should say, on Friday nights. So Sundays is Marvel Champions, generally speaking. Tuesdays kind of a random game, and Friday is our 2-player game night. So make sure to hit that button, join the live streams. It's been a lot of fun. It's been really cool, and I will see you all next time.